And we're up. Hello.
Hey.
We're back after what feels like
A
a
month.
month, probably.
Close to, if not.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's just been like one thing after another, after schedule changes. But now here we
I
are,
wish we could
Wednesday
say it was a
nights,
nice vacation.
right? And this isn't even going to be our regular time on Wednesdays now. We're a little bit later tonight. We will be, provided everything goes the way it's supposed to, Wednesday nights 7:30 is our new
Yes.
time for right now. Once we find out what the next um,
Program.
program to series to drop is, whether it's Strange New Worlds or Discovery Season 4. I'm assuming it's probably going to be Strange New Worlds.
You think
Um,
that's before Picard?
well, so Picard, at the end of the trailer, it said 2022. Um,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
so, I mean, depending on when in 2022 that is, it could come before something else.
Mm.
But we know that they started shooting Strange New Worlds before Picard,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe they also started shooting season 4 of Discovery before Picard. So it's kind of hard to say. Lower Decks is actually going to be the first one because that comes back in
Oh,
August.
there you
Uh,
go. So maybe
so that
in
is
time for my birthday.
Prodigy. Could be a thing. We don't know exactly
Mm.
when that's like what exact day that's gonna drop either.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
there's so much Star Trek content that's coming out. It's insane.
Yeah, Paramount feels like they're trying to compete with Star Wars right now.
Yeah, but even with Star Wars, there's no new movies coming out. Um,
Yeah.
right
Do
now
they even
anyway.
have Mando season 3 on the books?
Mando season 3 is on the horizon. But first they're doing the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes,
And
that's right. That's right.
they have been shooting that. Um, and obviously now the Bad Batch is going on, which plug for
Yep.
tomorrow night's show. Tomorrow night at 11:40, you can join me back here again for our watch along and post show breakdown of the Bad Batch. Tomorrow is going to be episode 6 or 7. I forget. I forget
Sure.
how far we're into it now. Uh, but I've been enjoying it so far. It's a good show. And
Good.
now we're getting, I think with Prodigy, we're
Hmm.
getting that kind of content with Star Trek, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
Like, have you
Yeah.
seen the new character posters
No.
or
No, I
images?
haven't. Well,
To,
newer in like the last month or so.
I in the past couple of days, I
No, I
actually
haven't seen
posted
any of the
them.
drops. I've the last few days have been a blur to me, to be
I
honest.
see.
I'm lucky that I caught the Picard trailer.
It looks really good.
Oh my God, it does. I can't.
Let me
As you
see.
know, I still haven't. Enterprise is as far as I gotten, and I just finished it this past week. So like, I'm excited to move up into Picard and Discovery.
Yeah, there's so much good content right now.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for you to watch Lower Decks. Um,
Yes.
because that's going to be great. Okay, I am posting right now into the chat, so you can click on this link as well. I wrote up a piece yesterday for our website, theilluminary.com. Shameless plug. Uh,
If you don't already know.
and through that link that I just threw in there, you can go and take a look at the new character posters, and there's also the announcement of the main voice cast for the people that we hadn't already known. Like Kate Mulgrew was really the only person that we knew outside of Billy Campbell. Um, so this is the rest of the cast here. Sorry
Oh,
for
Jason
looking.
Matsoukas.
Yeah,
I gotta put my old man
I am
glasses on.
so excited about that.
That's
Is
fantastic.
that dude is great. D. Bradley Baker, who
D-pad,
voices
you have
all of the
D-pad
clones on Star Wars, so now he's got his foot in like both franchises. He's in Star Trek and
universes.
Star Wars.
Uh,
Ella Purnell, I'm not really familiar with her. Brett Gray, like I feel like the three those three
the
characters,
kids.
I don't really know them.
Oh well,
Um,
Angus Emery's on the Crown,
yeah.
so that's somebody who people probably know. Plan Zero looks like the robot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But look at those, like the character, the new character. Not
Oh,
there aren't
oh,
character posters. It's more just like art.
yeah.
Down at the bottom.
Oh,
Like
that's
this
cool.
is like, so the animation is being done by the same company that does the Troll Hunter series.
Okay, I was just
Which
about
you
to
can
say it
yeah,
looks
you can
like that.
tell it looks very similar to that.
Yep.
Um, so like just everything that they've got here has me so excited for this.
I'm really excited that it's on Nickelodeon too. I got to be honest. Like it's easy enough for the Star Wars content now because it's locked in on Disney Plus, and so
Mhm.
many people have Disney Plus. But to have a Star Trek uh themed show on Nickelodeon, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, so it's going to be on Paramount Plus first. When they originally announced it, it was supposed to go to directly to Nickelodeon and then
Right.
eventually to Paramount Plus, but now they decided to reverse it, and now it's going to be on Paramount Plus first, and then at some point in the future go to Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, why they made that change, I don't know. No one's really been able to answer that for me. But for me, it doesn't really matter so much because I have Paramount Plus and I
Right.
have, YouTube TV that I can
Hulu and
watch
YouTube and
Nickelodeon
all
on.
that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I can watch it, regardless
Right.
of where it's at. But for kids, if their parents don't have Paramount Plus, that kind of puts them in a weird place. So
Yeah,
chances
but I
are,
mean, most people like they have cable. A
yeah,
lot of people have cable.
the downside of this though, I think, is that unless your parents are Trekkies, you're probably as a kid you're probably not going to come across this show until it drops on Nickelodeon at whatever
Right.
point in the future. Whereas,
Which I'm fine with because that'll help usher in a new era of Trekkies.
absolutely. But on the other hand, if you think about all the kids that just watch Nickelodeon, or their parents just throw on Nickelodeon to let them watch during the
Right.
day, if this had popped up and got their interest, like
Mm.
without needing their parents to be into Star Trek, that just brings in that whole new audience too. So it's an interesting bit of math that they're doing here to figure out like where they're putting it.
Yeah.
Um, but no, it should be good. I'm looking forward to that. Um, Also, down at the bottom of the article, you can click on another link that's down there that will take you to the character breakdowns, for some of the supporting characters that we'll be seeing on the show. We
Oh,
had
the
this
Bridge
exclusive.
Crew.
We had this exclusive last year, late last year, I think, earlier this year. But someone from CBS actually reached out to me, to tell me that some of the information that we have listed there is no longer accurate.
Oh,
So this
okay.
information that we got was really early,
Hmm.
information, that hadn't been completely fleshed out when, like, for the final production yet.
Right.
But of course they wouldn't give me the new information because they
They
want to
just
keep
said
that
it's
stuff
wrong.
secret.
Take it down.
Yeah, they were just like, that's not entirely accurate anymore. But I was like, anymore. That's the good word. It means that we had this stuff right, but it has changed as things in production do. Um, like, today, this isn't Star Trek related, but we got confirmation that, Elijah Wood is going to be in the Toxic Avenger movie with Peter Dinklage and Kevin Bacon.
What?
So maybe 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, we had dropped that story,
Uh-huh.
that Elijah Wood was going to be in the Toxic Avenger,
Do we know
and
as which character?
he's going to be a villain.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We don't know what character yet. We don't have a
Hmm.
name for him. But we at least as far as I know, we don't have a name for him. But he's going to be a villain. And then maybe a week and a half later, Deadline dropped a story that Kevin Bacon was going to be a villain in the Toxic Avenger movie.
Okay. I was about to say Kevin Bacon has to be a villain, right?
Yeah. So there were, let's say, a couple of places around the internet that were like, hey, look, you guys got this wrong. Elijah Wood isn't going to be in it. They just announced that Kevin Bacon is the villain, but now today, you look online and Elijah Wood has been confirmed. Um, we don't know what, like how big his role is going to be. Whether it's been minimized, in like whether like he switched roles with Kevin Bacon because they were able to get Kevin. Like, we don't know like what the story behind that is.
Right.
But we do know that our information was factual. So
Heck yeah.
that's nice. It's always
That's
nice to
it.
be validated,
It's a good pat on the back for
and
everybody at the team who
sometimes
does
to
all
make
that
other
stuff.
people look stupid.
Yeah, no, I can't take credit for any of that. So I give all the credit to all of you guys. I just watch Star Trek.
And hopefully play games soon. We'll see
Yeah,
how that
yeah,
goes.
we'll see if
Yeah,
we can get that going.
yeah.
Yeah. Apparently growing a Twitch is really hard, so we
It
shouldn't bother.
yeah I mean it is, but so growing anything online these days is kind of hard. It's just we have to make people like us.
Hey, growing anything is hard. I can't grow a plant to save my life.
I can grow a
I
beard.
killed I
You
killed a
can grow a beard.
succulent.
Your hair, you grow hair better than I do.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true. Okay. Anything that's not on my body, right up in this general region. Um,
I'm gonna jump into the chat for just a second here. Donnie Pearson
yeah.
has been sending a couple of moments here. He said let's see, he chimed in that both Nickelodeon and CBS are Viacom CBS companies. They're all owned by the same parent corporation, which is like National Amusements. I think is
Oh, they're
the
not owned. They're not owned by a telecom or anything like that right
no,
now.
no,
Oh wow.
so it's really bizarre. Like National Amusements owns Viacom CBS,
Hmm.
but they also own Paramount, which is but they were treated as separate companies for a while, which is why there was like a lot of weird rumors that were going on about like people owning the licenses to Star Trek on TV, which is why J.J. Abrams made like a reboot instead of like reusing character. Like there was like a lot of like misinformation that was out there,
Oh,
but
okay.
both companies are owned by the same parent corporation. They were just treated separately, and now there's a little bit more of a move to combine them a bit.
Gotcha.
But Paramount Plus still is doing weird stuff because not everything that's on Nickelodeon is available on Paramount Plus. Like I was
A
trying to watch
plus.
Power Rangers on there because Dino Fury is actually a really good show, and it's not available
Shameless
there.
plug.
Yeah, so but now that's on Netflix. They
Yeah.
so
They're putting it all back on Netflix.
yeah,
I
I
was
don't.
really excited on my end of things. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They had taken it off, and then they just released the next season of it on Netflix. So I'm excited to get onto that. I think Diamond is Forever or something like
So
that.
last night, I started like I was just looking for something to watch like as I'm like passing out and drifting
Hmm.
off to sleep. Um, so I decided to go through the anime that was on Hulu, and
Okay.
I stopped on
It,
High School DxD.
oh, I'm sorry.
So am I,
I'm
but
sorry.
I was
Is that one of those high school drama ones?
no.
No. Okay.
Well, yes, but also no.
Okay.
Um, it's a fantasy series, um, but a very fan service fantasy
Oh,
series.
okay. It
So
does not sound good to me. This does not sound like
um,
one I would want.
I'm confused enough that I kind of want to keep watching it to see what the fuck is going on.
Oh, well, that's anime for you.
Uh, because so it's this kid who goes to high school. It's like a pervy kid. So that's
Hmm.
like the first thing where I'm like, okay, this is going to be a really weird series. Um, he starts dating this girl. She kills him. He gets resurrected by a demon or a devil or something, who has now claimed him as her own, and she's getting naked all the time.
Yep.
And I'm
Okay.
like, what?
I was assuming that.
I'm just like, this. Like, I remember that this was on like FX or Cartoon Network at some point, like late at night.
Okay.
I remember like catching
Tsunami,
yeah,
maybe.
like glimpses, like just like flipping through the channels, being like, oh, Akuchi Hunger Force is on. I'm gonna stick that on, and then I'd let that run, and then eventually something else would come on, and and it would be something like that. I don't remember any of the stuff that I'm seeing on Hulu on Cartoon Network though. I'm like, this is this is way different.
There's a lot. I mean, they've even got some of the Crunchyroll stuff up on HBO Max. Not a lot is on HBO Max.
Mm-mm.
There's more on Netflix, more on Hulu. Um, I still got to get Hulu so I can watch the other seasons of Attack on Titan. I'm
Oh
still
yeah,
only on one.
yeah.
I will add though that I did go see while it was still in theaters, Mugen Train. the Demon Slayer
Oh yeah, yeah,
movie
yeah.
that is go between season 1 and 2, and the trailer for season 2 just dropped. Looks great. But I watched Mugen Train, and really good. The ending, like the very ending, was a little kind of uh, it lost the tone for
Right.
me. Like it built up to this really great epic battle and this really heart-wrenching moment, and then it kind of cut itself with a moment that I think is trying to be uh honest to the emotion and the weight of what had just occurred at the climax of the film, but it ends up going too far and it just
Right.
becomes a bit comical. But aside from that, excellent. And it's really cool to get to see anime in the theaters because you don't get that much in
Yeah,
America.
like I think the only anime that I've ever seen in the theater was Princess Mononoke.
When it was, yeah, fandom.
Well, no, Disney had released it back like in like
Oh.
94,
Oh,
95.
the original release way back in
Yeah,
the day.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
And I saw Akira at one of those like one of those
Oh,
like
you saw
fandom
Akira?
events. Yeah.
Right on.
Like seeing Akira in the theater was really cool.
Yeah, that I mean that's Akira was made for the theater.
hmm
Oh, that's a good
So
one.
Donnie says that he binged the first half of Power Rangers Dawn of Fury now that it's on Netflix, because they on Nickelodeon they only showed the first 8 episodes, and
Yeah,
then when it moved to Netflix they added the 9, 10, and 11,
yeah.
which is weird because those didn't air on Nickelodeon. So I have no idea what's happening there. For that, you can
Huh.
tune in Saturdays to the actual Ranger wrap up, and Joe and Jezer and Daniel will break down all that information for you and let you know what's going on with those. Um, but yeah, man,
We should
so
probably
much.
start breaking down some Star Trek stuff,
Yeah,
huh?
it's so much. There's so much content out there that we haven't been able to
Yeah,
talk about because we haven't been on. So like now I
and
feel like we're
yeah,
just
they, it's
like
expansive.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
there's going to be more. I'm sure there's going to be more news over the next few weeks. I mean, now that Picard trailers dropped, the official trailer,
hmm
um, you got that. Now that there's more information out about Prodigy, I guess next up will probably be a little bit more on Strange New Worlds or on
Yeah,
Discovery.
I would expect that we'll probably next see a teaser for Strange New Worlds, and
Yeah.
then maybe after that a teaser for Prodigy, or maybe vice versa. But my money is on Strange New Worlds first.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the Star Trek Picard trailer because I am actually really excited about this. Let me turn the volume down here
Yeah.
because
That was it was
I had
great.
that really loud. So now you haven't seen season 1 of Picard, right?
No, I have not. Like I
Okay,
said, Enterprise is my cutoff.
right. So um I don't want to really spoil season 1 for you. Uh
I know a little bit of it, and the
um
trailer doesn't spoil
yeah,
anything.
but
I mean, without prior knowledge.
yeah. So basic info without getting into the overall story arc from the season. Picard finds through the trailers that Data makes an appearance.
Yeah.
So Picard stumbles into this not really a conspiracy, but this mystery involving Data, um,
Mhm.
and this girl who you see briefly in the new trailer, and over the course of the season. He has to build a crew so that he has his ship so that he can go off and solve this mystery,
Right.
where he teams up with Seven of Nine comes back, and Rafi and all all the other folks that are
Sure.
there. Alison Pill's character, who
hmm
you see in the trailer too. And I can never remember dude's name, but he played Isaac in Heroes. Uh,
Oh,
let me
I'll look it up. While you get the trailer going, I'll look him up.
okay. Let me share the screen here with you first, so that you can see where we are.
I actually had a buddy in Heroes.
Okay, so that's there. That's there. Let me switch us over to the other scene. Hopefully, not break anything in the process. So now everyone should be able to see the black screen with the little play icon down at the bottom. So this trailer is about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So I would call that full trailer.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a little
some
more
people are
than
calling
teaser.
it a teaser, but it's
Teaser's more like 30 to 45
yeah,
seconds.
yeah. Okay, so let's hit play here. We start off and we're on his vineyard again, which is where we started off in season 1. He's calling
And he's
for
calling out his brother's name, right?
no, he's calling for Varys. Varys
Oh,
is
Varys.
one of his housekeepers who is a Romulan. So
Oh, not the Lord of the Lies or whatnot from Game of Thrones.
no, that's Varys. This is Varys with an A.
Ah,
So Picard takes place 20 years after the final Next Generation movie, which is after the destruction of Romulus from Star Trek 2009. So the J.J. Abrams movies are in fact canon to the regular Star Trek TNG universe, or Star Trek the original series universe, whatever you want to call it.
sure.
So he's looking around the house and he can't find anyone. And we hear Q.
Oh, of course we do. And Q has a quip as ever.
Mm-hmm. See, he's like, because Picard says something like, "What's going on here?" And Q
Mm-hmm.
is like, "That's a really good question."
Question. And then Q says, like, I thought I didn't expect you to be so old or something
Right.
like
Yep.
that.
Yep. And then we see him, and he's like, "Mon
John
Capitan."
Delancey. Well, yep.
And it's John Delancey. Now, can we talk a little bit about what he's wearing?
Yeah.
So I don't think we've ever seen Q wear something like it looks
Mm-mm.
like he's like, is he mimicking Picard and what Picard is wearing? Because if you look at what Picard was wearing, it's like, like this
The
leather jacket.
turtlenecky leather
Yeah,
jacket. Yeah.
and you can also see on him that he's got the Starfleet badge on him.
Yes.
So I guess we can
Which,
safely assume that he is now firmly back in Starfleet. Because at the beginning of season 1, he had retired.
okay.
So let me jump back ahead to where we were.
It's also, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The brooch that he has
Mm-hmm.
on his on the jacket. I can't tell what that is.
Can we zoom in on it?
I can't from here, but
Is it?
it doesn't look like it's like an actual symbol of any kind. It might
No, but
just be decorative.
I wonder
Um,
if it's like actually like part of a former crewmate's ensemble or something. Like
maybe
maybe it's a part of Data.
I don't know. It could also be like a Q continuum thing.
It could be.
Maybe that's the symbol for the Q continuum. I don't know.
I don't
Uh,
know. I will say that I like the idea of the suit as if nothing else, like a re-entry into the universe.
mm-hmm.
It's like, he's come dressed up to present.
Yeah.
Because the first time we meet him, he's wearing a Starfleet uniform. I think in that first episode, right? Doesn't he appear in the Starfleet uniform? Or
I think
no, he's in the judge's
no. Yeah,
robes.
he's wearing the robes with that weird hat and
Yeah,
the
that big giant hat.
yeah.
So very dressed up. He's definitely tailored
Mm-hmm.
to the occasion. I definitely see the kind of, they're both wearing darker colors. Is that
Yeah.
a faded blue? I can't tell on the turtleneck.
Yeah, it might be black or like a really dark navy blue.
Dark,
Um,
yeah.
it's interesting though because like it makes him look a lot more distinguished.
It very much does. I mean, it's almost like, and the fact that this one is a little bit of time travel, uh, supposedly, uh, he looks almost James Bondish right there.
Yeah, like a Doctor No type of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what has me curious though with Q being in this now is that this also now takes place after Voyager, when the Q Continuum Civil War was taking place. So we also know that Q has a son. We like
Right.
he got married, I guess, or whatever the Q version of that is. So I'm not only are we kind of like in season 1 we were not rediscovering, but we were learning about where Picard was at in his life, but
hmm
now we have so much to catch up on with Q too, because
With Q.
so much happened with his character after we last saw him in Voyager.
Yeah. And I wonder where they take his character. I wonder if he's in and out like he was, or if he's a little more integral this time.
Right,
I know
because
that
because he would have been taking up like a leadership role at the Continuum after they decided to have the kid.
yeah, that ended up being what happened. They need a little bit of guidance or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Yeah.
So this is that's something that has me really interested. Um, so he's talking at
Nice.
Starfleet Command. We don't really have an idea of why he's there. Q
Mm.
is giving like a little bit of a speech, but his speech is more about like something like the end, like basically like an end of the world type thing. Like we've reached the end of the road.
End
The
of the
end is
road.
near. Something's happening. So
Hmm.
this
And he
is
says it's the end of a possibility, or
yeah.
what could have been, which is really interesting.
This guy,
Uh,
Santiago.
yeah, Santiago Cabrera.
Yes, yes. So now we see that he's got a Starfleet badge on here too, but if you look at his face, right before this, like he's let me. So okay, Allison Pill. So he looks down, and it looks like he's
He
confused.
confused. He's very confused with that. It's so like, is this a timeline changing in the midst of their life,
And they're
or
and they're and they know that it's
like,
changing.
yeah,
Like they're able
they're
to,
protected from
yeah.
it or something? Hmm.
That I've found that kind of interesting. And I think we're going to find my theory is that we're going to find that each of the either they're all in a new different reality,
Hmm.
or it's jumping around in realities.
And that's very possible, because he even says like, I will get us all together and I'll get us home.
Mm,
So I wonder if he has to jump through time, if he has to do like a Doctor Who kind of thing
yeah.
in order to rescue his crew from separate timelines in order to.
Or yeah, jumping from timeline to timeline, or dimension to dimension. I don't know, because
Right.
here's 7 of 9. So this is interesting too. So we come down on her, and she doesn't have her implants, but
Yeah. But
she,
she goes up in a second looking like she's expecting them.
right. So she doesn't know that they're gone. And then this symbol, this is the Klingon symbol, isn't it?
Is it?
I want to say that that's the Klingon
Let me
symbol.
look up. Let me look up. What era of Klingon symbol would that be?
That's a good question. Actually, it's not exactly the Klingon symbol.
Um, it kind of is. No, the Klingon is 3. That's 4 points.
Yeah, what? I know the symbol though. Let me see if anyone
Uh,
else has season 2, 7 of 9, and let's see what we pull out. Okay. Nothing there.
New Starfleet insignia.
Oh, just a new Starfleet insignia.
That's what it's looking like.
Interesting. Because why wouldn't why does that one look different than all of the others?
Uh, maybe it's more influenced by some. Here, and again, the new Starfleet insignia looks new, complete with some kind of new symbol inside of it. Um, what is that? It looks like there's 3 or 4 things, and then the crescent moon. Maybe Starfleet is not as large. Maybe it's more warlike. Uh,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Um.
Sorry for being really bright there, everybody.
Yeah. No, okay, so it's featuring one of the stars from the Federation of Planets flag as the main symbol. Um. Uh. Suggestions that Rios's badge might be a link to the mirror universe.
Mm.
Because oh yeah, that insignia, the symbol in the middle of it. Let me back up here a little bit again. That looks
That
like
oh, sorry.
that looks like the dagger.
Uh-huh.
So that definitely could be a mirror universe thing.
Cool. And I mean, they're going hardcore. They went hardcore Mirrorverse
in Discovery.
So that would make sense. What if
So
they visit the Kelvin timeline at all?
That's a possibility too. And then we just get to the title screen.
Then we get the title screen. Yep.
So it's interesting.
It's enticing.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what to make.
Oh, you don't want to show everybody Space Ghost?
That.
Space Ghost.
Where am I? I'm gonna do that. Okay.
It's a dope trailer.
It is. It really is. It asks. This trailer does a really good job of asking a lot of questions, without really giving a lot away. Because now it's again, and I think what I like about this too is it's another mystery. It's like, okay, well, what's happening? Like, I think that's also where I like seeing Picard the best, is in like the TNG episode The Chase, where he's hunting down like the archaeological artifacts.
Yes.
The what was the one where he went rogue? Or not, he didn't go rogue, but he like joined up with that mercenary crew.
Oh man.
It was a two-parter. He was calling himself Galen, and Riker ended up joining them.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was like a Romulan artifact that they were hunting down or something.
Mm-hmm. I vaguely remember it. I can't help with any of this. Yeah, I'll look it up for you though.
But yeah, that one was really solid. And then the All Good Things, the TNG finale, which was it was a time travel mystery, more or less. So it's really interesting to me that Star Trek is digging into the time travel so much now, though, too.
Oh, Gambit Part 1 and Gambit Part 2.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I can close that. All right, let me get everything back on the screen the way it should be now.
It's when Picard faked his death.
Yes. Yeah. Right, because he was like in a bar and someone shot him and he disappeared. And he just disappeared. And they shot him as a cover up for being transported out.
Yep.
Man, you ever ask yourself why you don't like work in like math heavy fields or anything?
No, I don't, because I know why I don't.
So the reason I don't is because I know shit like this. Like all of the space in my brain that would have been filled up by like normal things that regular people should know.
But I don't think regular people fill their brains with math.
Well, not necessarily.
I don't think regular people fill their brains with this shit.
But you know, useful things. Useful.
But this is useful. I mean, I just.
I'm not mad that I know this stuff.
I don't mean that it's. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like this kind of stuff. It's what it to me personally. And this is coming from being in the industry. Granted, not that I'm, great in the industry or anything, but it's wonderful to have things to talk about.
Oh yeah.
It's wonderful to, have a book in your back pocket, have a show in your back pocket, have a little bit of knowledge, and not in the way that you're like, well, I know things, but just to have, a couple little tidbits to throw out.
It's one of those things that can either help you in a conversation or really, really hurt you in a conversation. Like if you're out with a bunch of people and you like randomly start talking, like if you're at a club or a bar or like an event of some kind, and random people just start talking to you as they do, and you're like, oh, this reminds me of Star Trek: The Next Generation season 3 episode 4 where blah 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 blah, and they're just like, I'm gonna go get a drink.
Well, that's when you don't bring that stuff up. When you bring it up is, hey, I'm at a convention, or hey, I'm at this after party.
On the other hand, every once in a while, you're gonna run into that one person who's like, "That's my favorite episode,"
and those are going to be the best conversations you have anyway. So whereas Yes, okay, maybe you're saying it in the way like you bring up, well, Gambit episode blah blah blah, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm going over this way. But it's really you testing them to see whether or not they're worthy to talk to you.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for Picard season 2. I think it looks really
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
Really excited for Prodigy. Like I said on Twitter the other day. I don't give a shit that that's directed at kids. I'm like
No.
based off of what I'm seeing. I'm really gonna like it.
It's I think it's going to be kind of like Teen Titans Go or
Yeah, yeah.
any
It's actually
number
gonna
of potential.
it's gonna be more serious. So like, if anything, like Lower Decks would be like your equivalent of Teen Titans Go.
Oh,
This is
sure,
going to be
sure.
maybe more like
Well,
the
more like Troll
original,
Hunters.
like the yeah, like Troll Hunters, the original Teen Titans,
Yes. Okay,
the
fair enough.
Star Wars, the Bad Batch,
Bad
uh,
Batch, yeah,
or Clone
which I still need
Wars,
to get on. Clone Wars was great.
yeah, like all this kind of
I
stuff.
just watched the extra season that they made in 2019 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
The season that introduced the Bad
hmm
Batch. I just got through watching that. That was
I haven't
so
seen any
good.
of that.
Oh, you got to see that.
So
The
like,
introduction to the
yeah,
Bad Batch is great.
after we finish the first season of the Bad Batch, I'm gonna go back and start with season 1 of the Clone Wars, and
Oh,
then
you
work.
haven't watched any of the Clone
No,
Wars?
no, I'm
Oh,
brand new to this Star Wars animated universe. Like, I
that,
saw Gendy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars series like
fantastic.
way back, which is really good, but
Yeah.
it's not related to any of this in the least.
No, it's a standalone that they
Yeah,
made to kind of just fill in the gap while the
yeah.
movies were coming out. But I kid you not, the animated universe of the Clone Wars into Rebels into Bad Batch, that is the best thing to come out of the original, or not the original, of the prequels. That is the best thing to happen from the
Yeah,
prequels.
they're
Those
they're
movies are,
just they're yeah.
yeah.
Like, the
Although
amount.
I do enjoy Phantom Menace. I actually enjoy Phantom Menace.
I mean, I enjoy parts of it.
I actually
Like for me, I think that's
overall
like
enjoy it.
all of the prequels. I'm like, I don't think any of them are bad. I just
Mm.
don't like any of them, like,
Yes.
overall as a whole.
Yeah. Same thing with the new trilogy too. I don't think
Yeah,
any of them are bad, but the only one that I kind of enjoy is Force Awakens, and I I I really only enjoy it because it's like kind of what I've already
it's
seen.
nostalgia. Yeah, it's kind of
It's
yeah.
nostalgia. That's
I
what
mean,
I loved about it.
I liked most of the Last Jedi. Like stuff on Canto Bite, I was like, but like overall, I thought it was solid.
Sure.
But we are not here to talk about Star Wars.
Star Wars,
We
we're
are
here to
here to
talk
talk
about
about
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yes.
And this
Which
week
is
we are
a
talking.
vastly superior, I think, universe as I've gotten older, in my opinion.
It's
They're
it's
rounding it
different.
out now
Yeah,
in
like
Star Wars.
I think the difference though is that Star Wars is they tell really good stories, but Star Trek tells really relevant stories.
Yes.
Like what you see in Star Wars is everything is good. And the stories are they're also timeless. They're timeless stories that aren't really dependent upon the era that you live in. But the Star Trek, I feel like, has a little bit deeper like social value.
Yeah. I want to point out Donnie's comment made me chuckle. I myself have thought The Force Awakens to be the Superman Returns of Star Wars.
Eh,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that.
No one fought an island in the Force Awakens though. It was an entire planet.
There you go. There you go.
It's no moon.
I still find it very funny. Yes. So Desert Crossing.
Yeah. So why don't you give me a
Elevator pitch.
yes?
Okay. Well, I got to start off. First, we got Clancy Brown. He's been chomping at the bit to do an episode with us. So I figure what we got to do, we got to give him a great character. So why don't we make him a desert nomad? All right. But he's not just a nomad. It turns out that he's actually the head of a group of freedom fighters. But they don't come out and say they're freedom fighters because they're the government that they're fighting against has all the power. So they actually come off as these really rugged, doodly men, and that's how they bring in more people to their cause. And then eventually, they're trying to swell their numbers, and they have heard tell of the great and legendary Captain Archer, who, if you'll remember, just an episode ago or a couple episodes ago, um, or maybe even an episode ago, was it? He freed
Yeah.
Suliban.
Yeah.
Detained was detained the episode before.
Let me double check, but I want to say yes.
No, I think detained was 2 episodes ago. Because
no,
last
three
episode,
episodes ago. The last episode was Fallen Hero. Before that was Vox Sola, and then Detained was the one right before that.
Detained was with Scott Bakula's old teammate.
Al.
Yeah. But so we get this group of nomads. They convince Archer and Trip to help them out with a few things around the camp, but Trip and Archer don't realize that they're being conscripted.
So, but before we actually get into talking about the episode, when you saw Clancy Brown and he started talking, so two things. First, you meet them, and you know they're Archer and his character, whose name I can't play. Like it was like Vor Blacks or something like that.
For Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
I'll get it for you. It's pronounced Zabrai.
Zabrel. So they're walking down like the hall or the corridor on the ship, and you know they're chatting. And then they cut into the section where he's thanking him for everything, and telling him that he should come down and visit and check out their their settlement and everything.
But and he's easily offended.
Did it seem like his voice changed to you?
His voice changed throughout the entire episode. Like I noticed there were times where he'd have the really bombastic thing going on, and then he'd be really intense and film actory.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Like I couldn't tell if that was like his character,
right,
or if that was like maybe differing direction, and like he was going for one thing, and then they're like, you know what, let's change it for this.
Well, it sounded to me in the very first minutes as they're walking down the hall that it was kind of a pseudo Eastern European thing going on. And then about 5 minutes in or so, it kind of changed to he still had the gravitas going on. I can't do that voice. But my voice is way too high for that. But it was very neutral American at that point.
But I was seeing a lot of people online saying that that immediately as he started talking, their first thought was Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, of course. I wonder if somebody actually told him it sounded too much like Mr. Krabs. It also sounds to me like was he Clayface on Batman the Animated Series? Which character was he?
Yeah. You know, that's funny. I actually just watched the Clayface episodes the other night. Like the the Clayface origin, yeah.
Or was he Two-Face? I don't think he was Two-Face. Was he Two-Face?
Clancy Brown, Batman the Animated Series. He was
none of the above.
Mr. Freeze and Lex Luthor.
Oh, really? Oh, that's what he was.
I knew he was Lex Luthor. I didn't know he was Mr. Freeze.
Right. That's right, Lex
Dr.
Luthor
Freeze or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does so many different voices.
Yeah.
Like
he's phenomenal.
Okay, DCAU rules: Lex Luthor, alternate Lex Luthor, Big Time, Wendell Morgan, President Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor Brainiac.
So tons of Lex Luthor. That's right. Duh, of course he was Lex Luthor.
Yeah. But you know, he was also the Kurgan in Highlander.
Mm-hmm.
Highlander or Highlander 2? No, Highlander 2 was the one with Mario Van Peebles.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Highlander.
Highlander,
the first one. Yep.
And then the third one was the one where they
Ron
erased
Perlman
it.
was Clayface. That's
Oh,
right.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was fun. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna put us over onto the other screen here, and we've got some trivia. But I am not on the right thing, and it's not letting me do what I needed it to do. All right, so we're gonna look at the wrong trivia here really quick. But while I'm fixing this, so I can start going through this. Give me your overall thoughts on this episode. Like what stood out to you? What did you like about it? What didn't you like?
Yeah. Great episode between Trip and Archer. I really enjoyed the building of each character there, both in relation to each other and in and of themselves. Uh, Trip, I love. He's, I wish he was in more stuff, and maybe I need to pay more attention to him because I love this actor. I really think he's phenomenal in this role. He was born to play this role, and he can make like a fear of the desert seem real. Like I don't quite know how to say it, but like he talks about how like, no, I remember that one time you were in the desert and everything. And generally I'd think an actor would throw that line away and it'd sound kind of silly. But like he actually like in his delivery of those kind of lines talking about the last time they were in a desert together and whatnot, I can actually hear that story. Um and that's for me, that's just really cool. Um I enjoyed that we got to see some stuff back on the ship because there's a lot of times where an episode like this it'll just go completely to the location and then we don't get to see what's going on board the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed that we got to come back a few times and check in because then we ended up getting some good character development with T'Pol and Hoshi as well. Um, if I remember correctly, Phlox was not in this episode though, and it's the first episode that he's not in, if I remember the trivia correctly. Um, but what is that? The game of geography is actually a recycled scene that was originally between Archer and Mayweather for the episode Fight or Flight. Yeah, that's cool trivia there. I never even knew that was a game. I mean, I know of games where like, yeah, say a word that ends with the word that I just said or whatever, but I
Right.
didn't know. Um, the It's funny though. I don't know if this is what you've got coming up after that, but Xanadu,
Oh yeah,
because he mentioned
I do.
Xanadu.
Yeah, I
You
do
do have that
have
one.
one for that.
Okay. Okay.
Give me one second. That's not right. Oh, where is this? Here we go. Okay. And then let's see if this works now. Okay, now we're good.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we're good.
So
There
no
we
one could
go.
hear me. No
Okay.
one could hear me talking about what I thought about the episode. They just saw my hand waving back and forth.
They didn't even see that.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry,
So
everybody.
here we go.
You didn't
Sorry
get to
for.
hear my wonderful talk of.
No, we got that. We got that. Yeah, it was just
Oh,
that
okay.
really brief moment there where we went full screen on the images for a second, and
Right.
I had no audio there. So here we go. Clancy Brown, Zabral, played by Clancy Brown, whose resume includes numerous voice roles in addition to his work on screen as well. We've already talked about all that, but there he is in the episode. Then later on, halfway through the episode, we get a reference to First Contact, where Hoshi makes the point that the Vulcans could have found themselves in a very similar situation to what Archer is finding himself in now when they landed in the middle of Montana. Because on Earth, there's the United States, there's Europe, there's Russia, there's Australia, China, Japan, South America, Mexico, Canada. There's all these other countries out there. So by landing in the middle of Montana, how would any of the other countries know that the United States hadn't already been in contact with these aliens?
Right.
So that was a very good point.
Yeah.
I do wish, however, that we had gotten more of what was going on the planet. Like, I liked everything that we got with Archer and Trip down on the planet. And then, the stuff back on the ship was, it was what it was. The scene here was really good at making the point that they were trying to make. But we don't really know what, we have a very superficial idea about what was happening on the planet. I think it would have been a little bit more interesting if they were thrown right into the middle of it.
I'm not sure, I'm kind of okay with what it was, to be honest. Because, it's set out to make it look like the government are the bad guys and Clancy Brown and them are the good guys. And it very well may be that. Clancy Brown.
It feels like they're like civil rights fighters.
So yeah, they're fighting for their cause, for their
right to exist, more or
their
less.
right to exist.
Yeah.
What I love about it, and the reason I like the way they did it, is that they have to cross the desert for a sojourn. It's like if they had started in the city and then they crossed the desert to get to the people or something, then there would have been like a resolution. But I think the point of this is that there is no resolution.
Right.
The very last line that he says, where I get a feeling that it's a cause worth fighting for, I personally feel like that's possibly one of the first times where he starts really thinking about how do we change the system that we have built. And it's possibly a thing that goes on to when he makes Starfleet. Or not Starfleet, but the
there's a spider coming
Federation
down from the ceiling behind my monitor.
Oh, you should go take care of that. Do you have a cup to catch it in?
It's down like really low too. That's crazy. Now it's climbing back up. All right. That just kind of.
Do you want to put it on camera? Put it on camera.
I can't. I can't turn it enough. Although maybe I can get a picture on my phone. Let me see here.
He wanted to come down and be part of the party.
No, it's in the middle of the light, so you're not gonna be able to see it.
Oh darn!
But
I was gonna say we could change the screen on YouTube to a spider.
I think for me it felt like a different episode than Detained, but at the same time it also felt really similar.
How so?
So these guys weren't being kept in internment camps or anything like the Suliban were.
Right.
But they were being treated kind of the same way. Not necessarily being told that it was for their protection, but they were being kept separate from everyone else.
Right.
And it was like a class issue instead of a race issue.
Right.
Like the themes of the episode were very similar.
The outcome is different too, and I like that the outcome is different because in Detained you see close up, and he even questions maybe it wasn't the right thing to do because if they hadn't have done that, then they wouldn't have been in this situation.
Right, and that's so. All this is leading towards the creation of the Prime Directive, which is the Prime Directive is that they won't initiate contact, interfere in the natural course of evolution or whatever. But the Suliban were a spacefaring race. They had warp drive. We know that they had warp drive, so they wouldn't have had a problem making contact with them.
And these guys are obviously a spacefaring race.
These are a spacefaring race. We don't know that they have warp drive, but I would assume based on their ship that they probably do.
Yeah, or at least maybe the major government does.
Right. Well, and they're not ignorant to the fact that there are other alien races out there. They know. He
knows the Suliban.
Right. So this being a prime, I understand the reference to the Prime Directive and the where they're going with First Contact, but I feel like this episode didn't really fit what a First Contact case would be.
I think that was kind of the point.
It's spiders dropping down again.
Can you get a picture of it now?
Maybe. Now it's kind of like hanging in front of the chair, so I might be able to get a better shot of it. A really blurry shot, but
No. That's way blurry. I can't even tell what it is.
You can't make it out.
It looks like the side of your bed. Do you have a cup or anything you can catch it in? Do you need to take care of that for a second?
No, but it's fine. It'll eat like flies and other crap that gets in here. It doesn't look like a poisonous one, so I think I'm safe.
As long as it doesn't eat you, we're good.
No, it's not that big. I have been playing Grounded though. It's an Xbox early release game.
Okay.
Basically, it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You're playing as the kids.
Yeah.
And you're you have to survive in this backyard environment, and there's spiders that can come out and kill you really easily.
Well, as there would be if we were that size.
Yeah.
I would. That would probably be one of the most terrifying things in my life if I were ever to be shrunk down.
There's
a spider or a scorpion.
There's a warning before you get into the game that's like, if you are afraid of spiders,
not
click
for you.
this setting, and the spiders change into like these weird like
mice,
amorphous blob things.
Oh, okay, all right. Hey, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's actually it's kind of funny. But
are the spiders really detailed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe that'll be, because it's an early release thing, so maybe we'll get that going on Twitch one day. Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, where were we? Prime Directive.
Trivia. Prime Directive.
Trivia. So yeah, let me move on to the next bit of trivia that we got here. The game of geography. So this is where you're going with Xanadu. This particular scene, though, with them doing geography, was recycled from the episode Fight or Flight. Originally, it was between Archer and Mayweather, and it still featured them like going back and forth with the banter and arguing over whether Xanadu was a real location or not. Now, Xanadu itself, Trip claims that it's not real. We know it as a fictional nightclub from the Olivia Newton-John movie. However, in 1994, there was an area on Titan, which is one of Saturn's moons, that was named Xanadu. So it actually is, in fact, a real location. Would have been a real location when this episode was shot. But in the future, we don't know that, like, what's there. Like, they might have renamed it. Trip might not know his geography
well enough.
Yeah. Because like who's gonna know a random spot on Saturn unless it's actually populated and you know people who live there?
Exactly. And he only knows people in Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
And people
same as
make
me.
him like pecan pie.
Yeah. Oh God, pecan pie. I would love some.
I'm not a pecan guy.
Most people.
Wait, pecan or pecan?
I'll say either.
Does it depend on who you're talking to?
Yeah. I think I just adopt however somebody says it. I grew up saying pecan.
Yeah.
But I heard pecans, and that's kind of a fun way to say it. But I think I grew up saying pecans. But yeah, I love him.
Spider is so distracting.
And he knows he is.
Because like I feel like it's trying to reach the ground, but can't actually make it to the ground. So it keeps like bringing itself back up.
Oh man, just out of
yeah, it's making it like a foot off the ground, and then it just starts crawling back up.
So he's actually looking.
Unless it's like spinning a web, like maybe it's dropping down separate lines.
Maybe it's trying to draw a web long enough for you to step into.
Maybe, I don't know. that's so weird. Anyway. Phlox. John Billingsley does not appear in this episode.
And I think it's the first episode that he didn't appear in.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Still got paid for it though, because he's main cast.
And that's the end of the trivia that I got.
There wasn't a lot of trivia in this episode, and no actors that were no guest actors that were from other episodes either, that I remember reading about.
I didn't see any.
And Clancy Brown, oddly enough, I think this is his only character that he ever played on Star Trek.
You might be right. I don't remember seeing him. in something else, but let's take a look. Um, yeah, according to this, he was not in any other episodes.
Yeah.
But he has been in other things with other people who have been on Star Trek.
Yes, of course. I mean, he's had a good career. There is a quote from this that I really like. It's when Trip is like so out of it, he's almost dying. Excuse me. And the Archer says, "The warp reactor, break it down for me." What? What are the 8 major components? You got to be kidding me. Name them. That's an order. Well, there's the drumsticks, thighs, wings. You got anything to eat around here? I love that. That made me crack up. That made
That
me
was fun.
crack up.
Charles Dennis, who was the Chancellor, the guy who contacted him on the
Oh,
ship. So he
is.
was in the episode Transfigurations of Next Generation.
Oh, okay. So there was one
Yeah,
reusable
yeah,
actor. Very cool. Again, going into the amazing abilities of this show to just utilize people that they enjoy working with in various capacities. That's just that's a dream.
yeah. Right. Like I feel like it's being an actor on like a Sci-Fi Channel movie or
Mm-hmm.
television show because like you just keep seeing them pop up on more Sci-Fi Channel TV shows or more Sci-Fi
Yeah.
Channel movies.
Or like
Um,
Hallmark,
yeah. Well,
Lifetime.
I feel like it's Canadian productions. Like
Mm.
if you watch like sci-fi stuff in Canada,
Mhm.
there's a group of actors there who you see pop up in like everything.
So
And
you're
it's
saying I should go to Canada?
Vancouver might be a good place.
Eh?
I thought about moving there for a while when I was first starting out, but I
Right?
couldn't find anyone to sponsor me, so I was like, all right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and with we probably can't even cross the border right now.
I mean, we could cross the border and we could go out there, but the problem is, we wouldn't be able to get a job on a Canadian production as a Canadian citizen until we were actually citizens. So
Mhm.
we would still be because all the TV shows up there shoot under like the government sponsorship type stuff.
Oh, okay.
There's a certain they only allow I want to say it's like 2% of the crew to be from not Canadian citizens.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And then like actors, it's the same thing. Like there's a certain number of actors that have to be Canadian as well.
Okay.
Like you can get waivers for certain things, but for a
If
lot
you
of
need it, if
yeah,
it's called for. Yeah.
or like you have to have a very specific reason for wanting them.
Right.
Um, so yeah, so where would you rate this episode in your season 1 lineup?
Um,
Oh
I
yeah, this
feel
guy's
like we've
definitely
been
building a web.
okay, then you probably got to stop that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll get him in a couple of
I
minutes.
feel I feel bad for the spider. Don't try not to kill it if you can.
I just gotta
Not.
figure out something to put it into.
I can get you a glass.
Yeah,
I always use a glass and a piece of paper and then I toss them
yeah.
outside.
That's usually what I do with like bees and all that kind of stuff too. Is I'll just like
Yeah.
put something upside down on top of it.
Yep.
Um,
Wasps, not so much.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they're useless. Oh God, they just heard me. No.
Squirrels.
Squirrels. I love squirrels. Um, what would I rate this at? I'd have to put it at a 4.2, maybe a 4.3.
Yeah.
Right, out
Um,
of 5.
I'd probably go with a 3.5 or 4.
Uh-huh.
I did enjoy it. Like it was a really solid Trip and Archer episode. But I just wanted more of the story with the people on the planet. Um,
Gotcha.
that's a me issue though. That's not
Mhm.
that's not like an actual problem. Just subjectively,
Yeah.
that's what I was looking forward to
For me, I
watching
was
it.
kind of okay with it because the previous episodes had been so much about conflicts and issues and like dealing with them in the middle of it.
Right.
So I kind of liked seeing what it was like dealing with it on the outside of it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Plus, I love a good shot in the desert.
Yeah.
A good shoot in the desert. I think deserts are a fun location that are not utilized enough.
Deserts are fun.
Granted,
I like
harder to shoot in them.
like snow, like big like snow covered areas too.
Yep. Yep. And I love the areas where it looks like the same,
Oh, now it's on the
out
floor.
out in the middle of the ocean. Oh, now it's on the floor.
Yeah, sorry, buddy, you're gonna die.
Oh no, on camera.
Sorry.
Ah,
He
you
was
could have
he
just
was coming right for me.
he was coming right. You could have just put your trash can over him.
Well, then would have dumped everything out inside of it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Oh
I
well.
mean that is the rule of thumb. Long story short, there was one night when I was a kid. So you know what a wolf spider is?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you know they're like as big as my hand.
Yeah.
And not the body, with their legs and
Yeah.
everything. For anybody who's watching who doesn't know what a wolf spider is, look it up. They're terrifying. They're not poisonous. They're also known as a jumping spider because they can jump pretty far and
Mm-hmm.
pretty high for a spider. Um, they're notorious in Florida for coming out at night and getting close to you. Um, I woke up one night. I used to live one of the places my parents lived was out in kind of the rural area, and I woke up one night and I had my blanket up, and I kind of wake up and I see this, and there was a wolf
Oh
spider that
no.
had just been on my chest. How long it was there, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Did it fall asleep? Was it hanging out? Was it ready to like eat me? I have no idea. But dang, if I didn't hop up, that thing went flying. I never found it. So it obviously survived and got scared as heck. But that was a fun night.
Yeah, I remember I had moved into a new apartment in Palm Harbor,
Hmm.
which is like it's outside of like Tampa, Clearwater,
Yeah.
like that basic area.
Okay.
Um, and the apartment complex was up against a wooded area. Not necessarily like a forest, but like, woods.
Sure.
Um, so so bugs and stuff got into the apartments all the time, but this was like not a brand new apartment, but it had just been cleaned and emptied. We didn't have all of our stuff in there yet. Walk into the living room at night. Just like come in from outside. I think we had gone out to dinner after like bringing a load of stuff over,
Mhm.
and in the corner of the living room was a wolf spider, just like hanging out
Just, hey guys, did
just
you bring
on
me
the rug.
pizza?
And I looked over. I'm like, huh. So went to grab a cup because yeah, it's a big fucking spider. So I'm not gonna crush that thing.
No.
Um, so I went to
No,
get a cup.
and the other thing about wolf spiders is sometimes you can't tell when they actually have babies.
Yeah.
Like other spiders, you can tell because they got a bigger sack. Wolf
Mm-hmm.
spiders, you can't tell if they
Yeah.
got babies. So you crush them and then.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So you got something. You
Yeah.
said.
So I got a plastic cup. Went over, tried to put it on top, but it saw me coming and leapt like 6 feet across the room. And I was like, "The fuck is this?"
So you didn't know wolf spiders could do that at that point.
No. No.
Yeah. Welcome to Florida.
Yeah. That was crazy. Like
Sorry if you're watching, Devro.
I had plenty of experiences with like palmetto bugs and roaches and just like the really gross, weird salamanders and geckos getting into the apartment.
Right.
Man, the first apartment that we moved into had it was nasty. It had like a really bad roach infestation.
Uh,
Um, and I would come out. Same thing when I moved here. The first apartment that I had in L.A. up in North Hollywood had a really bad roach
yeah.
infestation too.
And roaches are tough to get rid of.
But when you're only paying $1,500 a month for a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot apartment, that's what you're gonna get here.
Yeah.
Here in Florida.
Oh, here.
Yeah, here.
Oh no, that's that. Well, although in Florida now, I guess at least in the Orlando area, prices have changed. You can't do that for 15 apparently anymore.
Really?
That's what I've learned in Orlando. Yeah.
The last apartment that I had in Orlando was right. No one cares about this, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. The last apartment that I had out in Orlando was outside of the Mall of Millennia. Like there's 2 apartment
That's
complexes there.
that's not far from where I used to live.
My sister and I were splitting $850 a month for a 2-2. That was like 1,100 square feet.
Nice. I split a 3-2 apartment with 2 of my best friends from college. I think I paid 600. They paid 400 a piece. I had the master.
Yeah, like here, like I think about what I was spending on rent in Florida, and it's just like I had Lee Vista around the Orlando airport.
We need to market this episode to the Florida folks
right?
who love Star Trek.
Um,
Donnie, I hope you're enjoying this education on Central Florida.
I rented a house with three other people. It was myself, my sister, my younger sister, and two of her friends. So there were four. There were 4 of us total in the house. It was 3,200 square feet, with a 2.5 car garage, and we were paying $1,800 a month.
Man,
like this.
Okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Living
that
out
house,
in LA
that house was probably about the same size as the house that we're in now, but
yes.
like the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah. No, I completely understand.
It was insane. Like I had basically my own living room because there was a loft up over the garage, and I was pretty much the only person that used it. So like I had my entertainment center in there, like all my home theater stuff. My couch was up there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, if someone was watching something else downstairs, yeah, I would get people up there. But for the most part, it was mine to do with what as I wanted. But it was huge, like this open space. Like imagine a 2.5 car garage, just empty, and that's how big this loft area was up there.
That's beautiful.
It was insane. Like that would be so great now because that would be a studio.
Yeah, Donnie says it's on his bucket list. By the way, don't bother renting in Florida. Don't put that on your bucket list.
Yeah.
But I'd recommend Orlando's great. St. Augustine is fantastic, especially if you like ghost tours and stuff like that.
Just be careful of your speed in St. Augustine if you're driving. They are notorious for pulling you over for like barely going over the speed limit.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten like two speeding tickets there.
Oh, I was going to say, be careful driving out by the beach at night around that area. I was driving home one time because I had family in St. Augustine. I was driving back to Florida to Orlando. And I got buzzed in my windshield by a huge owl.
Oh, wow.
It just came down. It was like this on my windshield and scrambled off. It was cool and terrifying.
This conversation is going in such a weird direction.
How do we find a tangent back into Star Trek?
I've got to.
You've got it this time? Great.
Well, I've got to 1-for-1 you with that story. Downtown Clearwater, like I used to live down towards the beach. And kind of like it would be like living in Santa Monica now, but like just outside of Santa Monica. So like 5 minutes. Like imagine living like 2 to 3 miles away from like the Santa Monica Pier. Like that's so like residential, but still kind of close to the beach. That's where I was. I had a convertible with T-tops. It was a Honda Del Sol. So a hard top, not really T-tops. But I was driving down one of these suburban streets with the roof off, and a bird comes down into the car and flies out the back. And I was like, I had to slam on the brakes, like just like right in the middle of the street, because I'm like, what just happened? Like I was freaked out.
That's epic.
This is like the middle of the day too. Like I saw it coming at me. I was like, oh, it's just gonna buzz by, and nope, it dipped in and flew out.
So the bird swooped in like you wish Trip and Archer had have done in this episode.
Yes. Like I mean, I've been attacked by birds before, but that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. Well, I don't know. Do we have anything else to talk about right now? I don't
think so. Like we've covered most of it. We've covered all the Star Trek news.
Yeah, we
Uh,
covered a couple good shows and things to
yeah.
watch. Yeah.
Manifest got canceled. I don't know if anyone watches that. Uh,
Oh, a lot of stuff got canceled.
but that was so season 3 ended on a really big cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And it's also currently the #1 show being watched on Netflix. So
Wow.
it's really bizarre
So
that
I wonder if
NBC
it'll get
canceled it.
picked up by Netflix, though.
They've got a campaign going on right now. So they're trying. They're like the showrunner is like, I'm gonna shop this around. I want to get it picked up because I want to be able to finish telling my story. Um, they have a good chance on Netflix just because of where it's at right now. So we'll have to see. Like even if it just gets like one more season to kind of close out the story,
Right.
at least they'd be able to end it on their terms.
Yeah. CBS canceled a lot of stuff. NBC too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Debris. Well, that was another one that I was watching.
Yep. Agree.
That got canceled. That one was really disappointing too because it kind of felt like Fringe, which was a show that I
Mm.
really liked back in the day.
I did like Fringe too.
Um,
Hey, see.
what else is there? J.J. Abrams is producing a documentary for Showtime about UFOs.
Four-parter about UFOs. Yep.
There is a new supernatural type show that's going to be on Sci-Fi that I just saw is coming in August with Tim Rozon, who was in, I believe he was in Schitt's Creek. I think
Okay.
I don't know if he was a regular character in that or not though. But he was also one of the leads on uh, uh, it was what the last one of the last sci-fi shows that got canceled. Something Queen. I can't remember what it was called, but he was on that. Now he's in this show. It's about a pair of real estate brokers
Okay.
who work with selling haunted or supernatural properties.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember this character. Yeah, he was just in a couple episodes
Hmm.
of Schitt's Creek, but he definitely has that kind of vibe for supernatural. If you're getting somebody who looks
Vagrant
like they
Queen.
could have been, he could
That
have,
was the show on Sci-Fi.
okay, he could have been in Supernatural.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he fits the mold of people that they cast in that show. So that would make sense that he would be in this kind of a show. That's cool.
Yeah, let me see what this thing is called. Surreal Estate.
Mm.
Because of course it's called Surreal Estate. Oh, he was also in Winona Earp. I didn't know that. He played Doc Holliday.
Oh. Oh, okay, cool.
Interesting.
Surreal Estate.
That's one of those
That's
shows that I
actually
really
a
wanted to get
clever
into and
name.
just never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Jupiter's Legacy. Did you watch that?
Enjoyed it.
That got canceled.
Yeah, Jupiter's. I can understand why. The last couple episodes kind of get away from itself. I mean, I know it's based on source material,
Yeah.
but it seems like they kind of truncated it, and the payoff at the end of episode 8, you could see coming a mile away. It wasn't really like that far-fetched, so I can understand why it might have gotten canceled. But maybe there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that was going on.
There was a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh.
I know you're not on Twitter, but Steven DeKnight, who was the original showrunner, and then he left halfway through the series.
Okay.
He wouldn't say exactly what the problem was, but he's answered a couple of people's questions about the show and him leaving and basically creative differences. But he said he said that he likes that he doesn't have any real hard feelings towards any of the crew or the cast or anyone because they didn't really have anything to do with that decision.
Oh, okay.
It
seems like it was a lot
like budgetary,
the money
stuff,
people,
and they wanted to go in like I guess a different direction than he was trying to go in with it. But Netflix did sign. They had signed a deal with Mark Millar, so they are developing another series. It looks like it's animated, called Super Criminals, and that also takes place in the same Jupiter's Legacy universe.
So we might see some of those characters
potentially, but they'll be in animated form, I guess.
Right. I wonder if they'd be voiced by the same actors.
I don't know. I wouldn't surprise me because, on the CW DC shows, they got what's his name, Matt Ryan, to do the voice of Constantine for the animated Justice League movies.
Right.
And they brought him back, even though his show was on Fox, I think. They brought him onto the CW DC shows. So
For the crossover events.
He's a regular on Legends of Tomorrow now.
Or as Constantine?
Semi-regular, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I think that's really about everything.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I'm sure there will be more next week. I am a little disappointed in the E3 stuff this year.
There wasn't a lot. The Breath of the Wild 2 is kind of engaging, wondering where does that take place in the timeline.
Yeah, I should pay more attention to the Nintendo stuff, but I don't. Like it's kind of like I don't have one, and I never really got into the games outside of like playing like GoldenEye or like the original Mario Brothers games, so I just kind of fell out of it.
I keep telling myself I want to get a Switch, but there's not a lot of people to play Super Smash with, and that's kind of the only thing that I'd want to get.
The only thing that had me sort of interested in getting a Switch recently was Animal Crossing, just because it was one of those trendy things that I was like, oh, everyone is playing this, I need to play it. Where usually that kind of a thing will turn me away from stuff, where I'm like, oh, everyone is doing this, I don't know, I'm good. But for some reason, this Animal Crossing thing, I was like, no, this looks like a game that I would actually play.
I went all in on the first one on GameCube, and so kind of like how I am with Elder Scrolls, I'm kind of good.
Yeah.
Like Morrowind was the first Elder Scrolls I played back on the original brick box, and I played that so thoroughly with me and a couple of my best friends. I like delved so deep into that game, found so many of the things that I haven't even touched Elder Scrolls 4, 5, and 6, while the trailer is just land, doesn't engage me at all, because I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I mean,
Starfield,
if I ever want to... Starfield looks epic. I just watched that trailer the other day. Starfield does look pretty engaging.
I'm not sure what the plot of the game is.
Well, if the graphics are anywhere close to that playable, holy crap.
I mean, on the computer, I'm going to guess that it's going to be close. On the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5,
yeah, maybe
close to it, but I don't know if it'll be exactly that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think part of my disappointment with E3 this year too was just because I didn't get to go.
Fair enough.
It was not like 99% virtual. So like everything was online. The past 2 years, I've gone to the Xbox keynote thing, so I was there in the audience. Like, you've seen the meme of Keanu Reeves doing the "you're breathtaking" thing. Like I was there. Like I was like maybe a couple of 100 feet away from Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's dope. I guess the other reason E3 was probably lackluster this year is, well, the pandemic. Same reason everything is lackluster right now.
Yeah.
But there's still going to be some good stuff coming out, and RE8 I hear is fantastic. Speaking of games that are available at the moment,
my goal now, like I say this all the time, but my goal for this next year is to bump up the amount of video game related content that we have on the site, so that I can apply for E3 in 2022 and go and
as a vendor.
Fun. As a vendor. I'll make a Floppy Bird game or whatever.
That'll work.
But yeah, I think that's going to be it for us for tonight on the Riker Maneuver. You can join us again next week on Wednesday at 7:30, which will be our new home, provided scheduling works out.
Yeah.
On a regular basis for us.
We'll get this going. Yeah. Wednesdays are going to be better.
Once whatever next show starts and we find out what day it's going to be on, provided it doesn't interfere with any of our other shows, we will probably be moving to then, but we'll have to wait and find out. Check back again with us tomorrow for the Bad Batch watch along at 11:40. Bring your own Disney Plus subscription, because we are not going to be showing that on our channel because we like having a channel and don't want it to get shut down for copyright violations. Saturday, you can tune in to the Ranger wrap up. I'm not 100% sure what's happening with the Ranger shows this weekend because Jason David Frank is here in Los Angeles shooting Legend of the White Dragon, and he is supposed to make an appearance at the Comic Bug where we were last week for Walter Jones, but I'm hearing that the schedule might change a little bit, so I don't know what time that's going to happen. So if we can do the show, we'll do the show. If not, we will be at the Comic Bug, hanging out with Tommy, the Green Ranger, White Ranger, Dino Charge, whatever, you know. And then on Sunday in the morning is the Retro Sentai wrap up with Bryce, his cousin Ian, and Blackwing, followed by It's All Connected. And then later on in the evening, the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order, which Shay will also be sleeping through.
Yes.
And I guess that's it. Follow me on social media. I need validation. Like my tweets.
If you're on Instagram, get me to 1,000 so casting directors care.
yeah, get me to 1,000 on Twitter too, because like I'm at like what am I at on Twitter? Like I have like no following on here.
I'd follow you if I were on Twitter, but
482. Like that's a good number right there.
I that's better than me. I'm at 0.
But yeah, so I guess we will see you guys, or I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I will see you in the kitchen.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, Wrestling Order at Star PM.
Yeah, I think they're doing a watch along for one of the pay-per-views, so it may start earlier in the day than it normally does. But yeah. All right, Shay, I'm coming for you.